Okay, so this is the last 18-inch NECA figure in my collection that I will be doing for a little while. It's actually the last one I have, so that's why. And he is, if you don't know who this is, it is the 18-inch Jason Voorhees, the remake Jason Voorhees. With the cloth mask. And I got this guy a couple of years ago, the same year the movie came out. And he came boxed. There's the box that he comes in. Pretty cool. And yeah, he was once again way too cool to pass up. And if you've seen my other 18-inch Jason video, you know that I'm a big fan of Friday the 13th. And Jason is definitely my favorite serial killer. This guy has got some wicked detail. I know you guys have already probably seen a lot of videos on this guy, so I'm not really going to try and do a review or anything. Just a bit of a closer look, I guess. Turn around here. The weathering on the coat. All the cuts and colors and everything. I don't know how good you can see. You got dirt on the hands, on the jacket sleeves. Now the coat itself, like it's rubber, but I mean, you can move it. Kind of play around with it a little bit, like this flap and everything. But the arms themselves aren't actually made of the same thing as the coat. They do articulate kind of strangely. They articulate here and at the shoulders as well. And you can spin the body. You can see the crack right there, the body does turn. The legs themselves are solid as rocks. There's no give to them whatsoever, no articulation whatsoever, so basically from here down he's a statue. Really the only thing you can move is the arms, and you can turn the head as well. But other than that, he's a statue, and that's just the way I like him. I don't really plan on you know, trying to pose him, you know, too awful much, because, I mean, you can't really pose him. He just looks ridiculous no matter what you do. You kind of have to leave him in just the standing there looking badass pose. And this is, you know, it's a remake, it's a reimagining of Jason, so you know, I think this guy's supposed to be portrayed as a fairly young Jason, you know, compared to the Jason from the old series. This Jason is a little bit bigger and maybe a little bit more intimidating, and I think this guy is actually supposed to be alive in the movie. And not, you know, a zombie like he is in the old series. Arguably, I guess. I mean, he could be alive up until the final chapter, part 4. But after that, he's most definitely dead. He gets like half of his head chopped off by Tommy at the end with the machete. So he's most definitely dead after that movie. but you can see just some of the detail on the chest. He's definitely been fucked up a few times. Like, we got some stab wounds, possibly some bullet holes. So he's definitely taken a beating up to this point. But as I said, nowhere's near. You know, he looks good compared to the 18-inch Part 7 Jason. He's totally fucked up in that one, but it looks awesome. And one of the cool things about this guy, you might have already noticed, is the machete. I don't know if you can see, but there's actually like a sheath there for it. Like so. And the machete, the handle is quite well detailed. It's got the straps around it. Looks like real wood. And then the blade itself almost looks brand new. Like he hasn't really used it all that much. And it's very long. You can see in comparison to him, it's maybe a little bit longer than it should have been. So there's the machete in his hand, and just try and get him all into the shot. That is basically the only pose that you can do with this guy, but it's a cool pose. Like I said, he is more of a statue than anything, but I'm not really big on articulation or anything like that. I don't really care. I find the more you articulate something, the less real it looks. And I mean, he looks badass there, I think. You know, it's pretty much perfect, and that is the way that he would look if I were to display him in a display case anywhere or anything like that. So and I'll just get a little closer look at the sheet. You can kind of see the strings there where it's tied. This is very well done. It looks identical to the one in the movie. It's much cooler than the original Jason pillowcase. Although that was really cool too, but you know, this one looks a hell of a lot creepier. Way scarier for sure. And there's one other thing for this guy. He actually comes with interchangeable heads. Okay, so here he is with the mask. And as you can see, it looks good. You know, the new mask is awesome. You know, it's pretty much it is the same as the other one. It covers a little more of his face maybe and has a little more of a curve to it on the bottom. But you know, it looks cool. You can see the eye and then his bad eye there. But like all of the scuff marks and everything on the mask, they're all exactly the same as they are in the movie. All the discoloration and things like that. You can see his big beefy neck that he's got in there. And with the mask on, like, I mean, it does look good, but like I have one other 18-inch Jason already, kind of with the mask, so when I display this guy I usually go with the sheet head because I think it looks better than this one. It's something about the hair on this one, even though I know it looks good, but it kind of looks fake at the same time. Well, I mean, it is fake, but I mean, it's just, I mean, if you go around his head, you know, everything kind of matches up. and it definitely looks cool. Now I'm going to show you the one downside to this thing. Now, if you don't know, you may be wondering, does this mask come off? Well, yes it does, but that's where the problem starts for me with this guy. Once you take the mask off, it kind of all goes downhill. As you can see, now the mask itself, for some reason, I don't know why they had to do this, the mask itself looks great, but the hair is actually attached to the mask. Why they would do that, I have no idea. Because it kind of makes it so you really can't take the mask off. Like, you can take it off, but it takes the hair with it. So, I mean, the hair should have been on his head, not on the mask. So it kind of makes it so you can't really take the mask off. And on top of that, you wouldn't really want to take the mask off anyway because his face looks terrible. I mean, I know it's supposed to look terrible, obviously, but I mean, look at it. First of all, from behind, it just looks really bad. It's not the same color as the rest of his body, for one thing. And the actual face itself, I mean, it's got very good detail, but no color whatsoever. No color. Like, look at the teeth. Teeth are not supposed to be the same color as your skin, okay? They're white or yellow or black. You know, in really bad cases. But not skin colored. Like, there's no color there whatsoever. Now the bad eye looks fine, but the good eye, it's just black and white. I mean, there's no color whatsoever. Jason's supposed to have blue eyes, people. In case you didn't know that. Not black and white. I don't know anybody with black and white eyes. So, very poorly done face. Very, 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 very poorly done. And really, he doesn't look anything like he does in the movie either. Like, you do get kind of a glimpse of his face in the movie, and he doesn't look like that. So that, along with the no color whatsoever on the face, like it's all the same, it's all one color with a black and white eye. Terrible job on the face. Terrible job. So I really wouldn't want to show that to anybody. So if I were to use this face, I would just say no, the mask doesn't come off. The mask stays on. As he looks a lot better with the mask on, definitely. And I mean, the hair looks alright. But like I said, if I was gonna pose this guy and showcase him off, I would definitely use the cloth mask. So that's about all I can say for this guy. He's really cool. He looks cool. He's a great addition to my collection. He's, you know, he's not as cool as the Part 7 18-inch, but you know, he'll do. Alright, so I think this video is probably long enough now. So thanks very much for watching, and hope you enjoyed.